We're seeing a slight increase on the NSE 20 to 4,242 points, but there are some concerns around the outlook for corporates in Kenya. Tell us about these concerns.
Basically, the market has been on a bull, timeline, and people have been, cashing in on the gains and looking at the way forward, especially with the business recovery. The weather is good, the agriculture sector is actually picking up, the government stimulus package is actually being implemented. However, the corporate issues that actually outline how a company is run have been on the forefront. We're looking at Safaricom fighting, for its its growth and dominance in the telecommunication industry against other players because of the new CCK rules, despite the fact that the government has said that they'll open fresh talks. We're looking at what's happening to the energy sector with Kenol Bill and the High Court order with Kenya Pipeline in terms of the award. And also we look at how the energy sector is going to respond to the fact that gas deposits have been found in Kenya in the Isiolo sector. We're also looking at basically, the financial sector. We're looking at housing finance and equity and how this is actually going to go forth. And the CFC Stanbic, with how the merge is actually going to affect, now determine its growth with many of its units, being separated.
While there are those issues, and obviously the corporate sector very active at the moment. We did see some corporate action this morning with Co-op Bank reporting a net income increase of 33%. What was behind that increase?
Cooperative Bank has actually diversified its business line. We're looking at it actually acquired a brokerage house which is called Kingdom Securities, and I think the foray into the equity business at the stock market has actually increased the bottom line. We're looking at they have a new coffee marketing line, basically helping the coffee industry through the various cooperative movements, especially in Central Province. And then we're also looking at they have a mortgage product, Good Home, which basically you can see that in Kenya, the leading mortgage financial housing finance has issues, and they've been unable to capitalize on the experience. And S&L, which was actually controlled by Kenya Commercial Bank, was actually folded up and went back to the mainstream of the bank. So you're seeing that with the three products that Cooperative Bank has in the last 1 quarter, the business has actually been able to increase at least by 24.5%. And given the fact that it's actually most of its business is based on the cooperative movement, whereby the ordinary Kenyan is able to participate, we're able to see that in terms of assets, it's a company that's actually growing significantly.
Mm-hmm. Diamond Trust Bank also out with results this morning. Interest income and operating income up as well. What were the reasons behind that?
Diamond Trust, basically what I know is they are very impressive products, especially tailored for the high-end client and the SME sector, whereby the products and services are actually friendly in terms of borrowing, in terms of supporting small and medium enterprise businesses. And also the expansion strategy is actually unique in the sense that, whereby we're having other banks like Kenya Commercial Bank and Equity going regional. We've seen that they've actually they've actually focused on the local domestic market and in key areas like Kitale, Nairobi, and Mombasa.
On the other hand, their loan loss provision is up by around 11%. Do you see this increasing over the next year?
I believe the increase is actually going to be more seen clearly as the quarter progresses on, and especially towards the end of the year, because as the economy recovers and people are able to spend more and the inflation rate actually goes down, we're seeing that complete recovery of most of the sectors and definitely an increase in the growth.
Just quickly, your thoughts on Safaricom. You did mention that government has now opened fresh talks with the telecoms operator. How can we expect Safaricom to perform today on the back of that news?
Basically, we've seen that since the new regulations were actually gazetted, Safaricom was actually on a losing streak. Mm-hmm. But what I know is the government has actually said that they'll open, they're open for more talks between the different players in the industry. And I believe from this, maybe Safaricom so can actually, have a balance and regain its, last week's growth at last week's appreciation at the market. But what I know is that it's actually, whether they have new talks or not, it will be hard for the government to actually change. What I think is maybe what will happen is that the timeline in terms of implementation of the gazetted regulations, which will actually see maybe give Safaricom a timeline to recover back from its investments.